Hello and welcome to Culture Vultures with me, your host, Al Thompson. Hello. And today we're going to be talking about alternative music with my guest today, Mr. Richard Brown. Woo!
Hello. How's it going?
Let's try to make it sound as if there's a crowd in here or there's any.
We've just done the Fringe. I'm used to playing to nothing.
So how was your Fringe then, speaking of?
Actually, really good.
Yeah.
But I was with The Stand, which was amazing.
Wow.
But I only did 3 shows, but they were great. But it was unbearably hot, which I was all prepped for. Like, the room's going to be. Rooms at the Fringe are hot. Mm-hmm. Audiences get tired. You have to pick up the energy. I wasn't prepared for how disorientated I would be. Just like you try to think of your feet when you feel like you're about to fall down.
Yeah,
it's hard. But I just like rearranged the show for the next 2 days.
Really,
great fun.
Good man, good. I mean, folks say that's when you learn to become a comedian, is at the Fringe. But I mean, it was only the 3 days. But was that an experience? Like, was it good? Was it?
It was good. I would rather do longer because
right.
I felt like, so I did Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Thursday I was like, if the first 2 days had been previews and this was the first day of a run, I would feel amazing about the show.
Aye.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, you were at the Stand at the Fringe, so
Aye.
you can't really
exactly.
take what you can get.
I was very happy.
And also just back from Reykjavik as well.
Yeah. So my partner's Icelandic,
right?
So I go quite a lot.
I don't want to sound. You look as if you've got a foreign girlfriend. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? But I hope I'm not being offensive. But you just look kind of like I've fucked this straight away, haven't I? Just but you look kind of like indie, and you just look as if right. Continue because I've derailed everyone straight away.
I look like I don't hate foreigners.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying?
Aye. That's a nicer way to say it.
Yeah,
you love them, in fact.
Yeah. There's one I'm very much in love with.
So what did you go for? Was it just a holiday or?
No, it was her. So it was her birthday on Friday. I was running a half marathon on the Saturday, and went to see the Smashing Pumpkins on Tuesday, which isn't why we went, or why I went, because I went for the other reasons, and then my girlfriend's mum and stepdad had tickets and then couldn't go. So we took her wee sister to see the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, nice, man.
Cool.
How were they live?
Good, actually.
Aye.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah. I was, because when it was like the week before, my partner's like, oh, do you want to go see the Smashing Pumpkins? My mum wants to give us the tickets. And in my head, I was like, I think I hate Billy Corgan, but I can't remember why. So then I had to Google it, and it was like, oh, it's his politics. But they're very inconsistent. He seems just like a bit mad.
Aye.
But musically, it was really good.
I saw them at Download, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, and he was just playing what he wanted.
Right.
And it's like, if you go to a gig like Download, if you go to a festival, play your hits and go away.
Aye. That was very much what this show was. I was quite happy with that. Right. There was nothing like post 2005.
Oh, really?
It was all old stuff.
Oh,
I don't know if that's because it's 3 of the 4 classic lineup.
Right.
So maybe they're just playing the older stuff. But it was good fun.
That's what you want.
It was still about half an hour too long.
Yeah.
But they played Today like 3 songs in.
Oh.
So stuff that should have been the encore was like just dotted all through it, so it never really got boring.
Oh, great!
So it's pretty cool. And they played just a straight cover of "Take My Breath Away" by Berlin.
I saw the clips of that on social media, which was good.
It was great. It was really fun. Billy Corgan doesn't have the voice for it, so it did feel like a karaoke. But the crowd got into it, so it was super fun.
Aye, it was quite strange to see. Was there any kind of like build up? Was there any reasoning? Did he say why he was doing?
It was it was like, it just out of nowhere. It's like bom 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 bom, and it was like, this is a fun thing to play while tuning up.
Aye.
Oh no, they're doing it. They're doing the whole thing, start to finish.
That is crazy, and also a half marathon.
Yeah.
What? Like, when you look at me, it's obviously I'm not into running. And what got you into running? What was that about?
I joined a gym once, because you do that. Everyone at some point you join a gym. Yeah. I wanted to do weights, and I enjoyed doing weights, but people just kept leaving shit. There was no. I couldn't find the weights I wanted. Everything was just a mess, and it really annoyed all the autism in me.
Yeah.
So, and then while I was at the gym, I just started doing Couch to 5K and really enjoyed it. So I always say if people are trying to get into exercise or get fit, find the thing you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So running, I really enjoy. And yeah, so I've had this goal to run a half marathon in under 100 minutes. So under an hour 40 before I turned 40, and I managed it.
Oh, brilliant, man.
So
Well
I
done.
still can't really walk.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty pleased with myself.
That's really good, man. Aye. It's always good to have goals and that into it as well. I mean,
Aye.
like I've got I've joined the gym. I've not been in a while,
Mhm.
and I've also got a book in the house by Action Bronson.
Oh yeah.
It's to basically, he was saying like this is how you get fit and this is how you lose weight and stuff like that, and I've not even opened it. So that just goes to show my kind of thoughts towards going to the gym and stuff like that.
Aye.
But he has
Have you seen the video of him doing cartwheels?
no.
He can do cartwheels.
That's crazy, man. Isn't it?
That's this big guy, but he can do them
Aye.
perfectly.
Because I watched like Fuck That's Delicious and stuff like that, and all these
Aye.
like food stuff. But now when you watch it, it's like, right, we're going to eat this, but first of all we need to do a workout so that we can work it off. Or it's crazy. You never thought it would be like that. Or,
Yeah.
but I suppose
Good for
they
him.
can do it if you put your mind to it, into it, which is
Aye.
running that exactly.
Aye.
So is there a bit in running where it's like a rush?
No. I had this was a bit in my show that I've just done
Yeah.
where I talk about like when I started running, it was my hyper focus, and I read loads and loads about it, and I kept reading about this thing called runner's high. I never experienced it. And it turns out it's not even what I thought it was. It's like this feeling you're supposed to get like halfway through the run where you
Yeah.
feel like you kind of go forever or something. I've never had that.
No.
But I'd been running on the treadmill at the gym on a summer's night, and I was walking home through Glasgow, and I had all the endorphins flowing and all this euphoria. And I had this moment of like, is this that runner's high people talk about?
Aye.
Because if it is, this is shit.
Aye.
Like I've done drugs. No one's going to be surprised by me saying that. Like running is never going to compare to that. And so many people who run are running away from like addiction problems.
Yeah.
So trying to sell it on like, oh, here's a different kind of high. It's like, no, we
It's-
know what high
Hey,
is.
it's not the same, but it is better for you. We should put that. We should,
Aye. Oh, aye.
yeah. So we're here to talk about alternative music. What's your history with alternative music? When did you start? I mean, what was your first band, do you think? Was your
I guess it was Nirvana.
Yeah.
So I took guitar lessons in first year of high school because I really liked Oasis and all that kind of stuff. And then the guy I took lessons with, like the other student, you do it like 2 or 3 at a
Yeah.
time. And he introduced me to Nirvana, Megadeth, Metallica, and Slayer, like in an evening. And Nirvana was like Territorial Pistons. It's 3
Yeah.
chords. You've been playing guitar for 2 months. You can play Territorial
Yeah.
Pistons. And it was like, yeah, it was just this energy that I absolutely, I think I was 11 or 12, and it's just that energy to it that is so addictive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think probably was the same for me as well. Actually, Nirvana. I think I remember it was at my pal's house. I never had the music channels, and the music channel come on. It was like a doubler, and it was Smells Like Teen Spirit, obviously, and then Sliver.
Aye.
Sliver stuck out to me more than Smells Like Teen Spirit, but I think like that gets you into like grunge and different things like that as well. Like I loved Alice in Chains was my kind of big grunge. Was Nirvana just your big grunge band, or were you into?
I was into loads.
Yeah.
It was like, that was my hyperfixation before I knew what hyperfixations were. But it was like, I grew up in the countryside. I'm from the Borders, a wee
Right.
town like an hour and a half south of Edinburgh. And there was no music shops or anything. So every few months I would go to Edinburgh and I would go into FOP and I would
Yeah.
find albums for a £5 that I'd heard were good. And I would I'd get like 5 or 6 and take them home. But like a group of us would always go and we'd sort of do it strategically. So it's like, I'm going to get this one and then you get that
Yeah.
one. And then we'll like tape them and pass them about.
Back in the day, tapes, man. I think.
Aye.
So, like it started like Nirvana, and then it's like were they like late 80s? Wasn't it? It was 91 when
89 was Bleach.
Aye. And then was it 91 was Nevermind?
Aye.
So and then that just exploded. That was
Yeah.
like everywhere.
But obviously that had been and gone by
Yeah.
the time I discovered them.
Yeah. Yeah, I was the same. I can't even remember. I think grunge was dead by the time I started listening to it.
Aye.
Alice in Chains was always the big band that I was into in that grunge scene, and then you're just growing up and you're thinking, right, I want to go and see that. Oh no, he's dead. Oh no, he's dead. And then obviously Chris Cornell was a lot kind of more recent, but it seemed like it kind of was like a big boom of grunge, and then it kind of fizzled a bit. I mean, I see grunge as the kind of 4 or 5 bands like Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, Nirvana, Pearl Jam. Feels as if I'm missing one.
I mean, there's like Tad, L7. Don't know. Are Smashing Pumpkins grunge?
See, I
don't know.
Well, when Smashing Pumpkins came about, they were saying that he was the new Kurt Cobain, but I think they were all every single band, as you seen in Sellout, like in that book. Basically, they were just trying to find the new Nirvana or these kind of record companies and stuff like that. So, but I mean, his voice annoyed me. Billy Corgan's voice.
Yeah,
it's very, very whiny, but it kind of worked in the.
I like it in songs. Don't like it when he's talking about politics. but also, there's a song. So they've been closing with this on the tour that I just saw them on. That song, "The Everlasting Gaze," and it's a phenomenal riff, and it's a great song. But there is a bit in the middle of it where all the music stops, and he just whines for about 4 lines, and it's really off-putting.
So he does,
and the music video is worse. He's doing all this stuff. Like the camera's like pointing down at him and he's like voguing.
That is a great song though.
It is so good.
It's like a good closer. And the drums and stuff. What's the drummer's name again? Is it
Chamberlain?
Aye.
James I think it's Jimmy Chamberlain.
Jimmy Chamberlain.
And they've got Melissa Aufdermar playing bass
on
that album as well.
Was she the original bassist?
No, that was Darcy.
So
I can't remember her surname. It begins with a W, and even if I could remember it, I would probably say it offensively wrong.
Darcy will do. I don't imagine she's going to be listening. But there was a lot of kind of female members of like bands like that, like Kim Deal for the Pixies. She's I loved her. Man.
Yeah,
she was. And then there was.
Kim Gordon.
I was
all the Kims.
All the Kims. Aye. I was listening to Teenage Riot, like when we were going to be listening to this for Sonic Youth. I think Daydream Nation, that album is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
But when you listen to Sonic Youth, it's like, did they know their guitars are out of tune? It's just going to feel like, we'll just play the first thing it comes, but it works.
Yeah.
It's I really like them as well. So
have you read her book?
No.
Gordon's book. It's called Girl in a Band. It's really good. I've got quite a chip on my shoulder about like class in music and in the arts and in comedy.
Yeah.
So I had no idea she went to a very good school with Danny Elfman and
really?
But
no.
It doesn't bother me because she's not singing about that. She's not then going up on stage and going, "Oh, my life is so hard, so hard to be poor." It's like, nah, it's cool. You're just making noise and playing your bass with a drumstick. That's pretty artsy, and I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like with indie music in general, that always kind of, because indie obviously was just independent. When I get told that indie meant independent, I laughed at the guy. I'm like, that can't be what it's about, because you see indie like what age are you? Sorry,
39.
39. So a wee bit older than me, but. We kind of grew up and indie was like Arctic Monkeys and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't independent.
Same way as pop means popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much, like, Metallica are going to play Hamden.
Yeah.
Pretty popular.
Yeah.
So, that pop band Metallica.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's you do think like indie music, like in Sellout and in the book Sellout, they were talking about like the Lookout records and stuff like that found Green Day, and think of that as proper indie, and then new indie is Bono's son. You know what I mean? It's like, it just doesn't really match up. But it
was weird for me because when I was a kid and discovered grunge and stuff, I would listen to Radio 1 at night when you had like John Peel and stuff on.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time they would broadcast live gigs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd be here like out in the countryside listening to these live broadcasts from like Glasgow or somewhere. And like, I can't wait to grow up and like go and see these gigs. And then by the time I was like 18 and moved to Glasgow, grunge was dead, and it was all that sort of skinny indie twang, where it was all about just getting girls and yeah.
I mean, I'm going to drop up a bombshell. The band that I've seen the most in my life is Frightened Rabbit, but before that, it was the Wombats.
Right.
I'd seen the Wombats like 4 or 5 times. I went through that stage like when I was first able to like drink and stuff like that, and like, that was all the music that was on at parties. So I've kind of been in and out of every music genre going.
Aye.
Like,
there's a lot of that stuff I really like now, but I think at the time, I don't know. There was we keep talking about Sell Out. We should mention that it is a book that we're referring
Will you
to.
hold it up then? And
Yeah, I brought the physical copy with me. Sell Out by Dan Ozzie.
Very good book if you're into alternative music.
But there's a lot about gatekeeping.
Yeah.
About like, fanzines and stuff. Once you go on a major label, they just dismiss you.
Yeah.
And I was into all of that stuff. And it means I kind of missed out on bands I actually really liked. But I was like, no, I don't like them. They're on a major label, so I don't like them.
There always is that though, isn't it? I mean, when you're growing, the most important thing when you're growing up is being cool.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be like you want to be part of something, and if somebody else says you can't listen to that, it's like, well, I'm not listening to them anymore.
Yeah.
Like, but I was never big into I didn't even know what labels were growing up. I just if I liked the sound of it, I would listen to it, which is why I listened to like hip hop, basically everything, like guitar music and stuff like that. My cousin got me into metal really, really early on. So I was honestly into whatever sounded good. I was listening to it, kind of thing.
Are you from Glasgow?
Just outside. I'm from Muirhill,
Right.
Which is not far from Bellshill, which is where a lot of indie Scottish bands are from.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, like a couple of members of Teenage Fan Club, the Vaselines. Is that what they're called?
Let's just say it with confidence.
Aye.
It'll become a fact.
Nobody will
Google
look it up.
AI will pick up on it.
But like, they became big. I think it was the Vaselines. Aye, we'll say it as anyway.
Cool.
But Kurt Cobain was a massive fan of them. He had like a Vaselines t-shirt.
Aye, they do a
brought them
bunch
out
of
on tour and
covers
stuff
on
like
Incesticide, don't they?
that.
Aye.
Aye, so he was really into that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm from Newhill. Anyway,
Aye.
that was
So that was the thing with being from the countryside. Like something that shocked me when I moved to Glasgow is like how cliquey everything was in alternative music and in metal.
Yeah.
So you had like the punk kids, the hardcore kids, the goth kids, and like they were all in wee groups. But where I grew up, everyone that was into anything that wasn't mainstream hung out together.
Oh, really?
Because there were so few of us.
Right.
So it meant we all just like swapped tapes and stuff. So it was whether it was like metal or indie or hip hop or just everything that was not on the radio. Like the only way we were going to get it
was by hanging out with each other.
Aye, was by sharing tapes.
Aye, because like there was like I was all, as I say, I was into alternative stuff, but I was into like metal, and then like Fall Out Boy and that came about, and Panic at the Disco when I was just kind of going to the Cat House Unders, and I would just decide, nah, I don't like them. And I went to see Muse, and My Chemical Romance were supporting them, and we booed them off the stage, and they were getting bottles of piss chucked at them and that, and then they're touring now, and I'm like, right, I can't go and see them because of what I'd done to them like before. But I still listen to them, but it is just about fitting in.
Aye.
As much as it's been an outcast, you still want to fit in as an outcast by listening to all that kind of music. So I know what you mean. Like you do miss out on a lot.
Aye.
Was there anybody that you were so against that you? Who was the band that you wish you were able to listen to?
Do you know who I didn't watch when I was at Tea in the Park when I was like 15? It's now to do with alternative music, but I didn't watch All Saints. And my pals went to watch All Saints. Admittedly, I went to watch at the drive-in in a tent.
Oh,
and that
no
was
way.
amazing. But All Saints was apparently also amazing.
Aye.
And I would have enjoyed... I don't think I would have enjoyed it more than at the drive-in, but I could have, like... I don't think the overlap was so much. I think I could have got a good chunk of All Saints before driving. I also, same festival, I didn't watch Moloko because I went to see the Fun Loving Criminals. And now I fucking love Moloko.
Aye. I only know, is that them that did the Bring It Back sing?
Yeah, that was the only song I knew, and I didn't really like it. And it's still not my favourite.
Yeah.
But the rest of that album is incredible.
Oh, really?
So
well, that was going to be one of the things we're going to be talking about was festivals. Like I went to see, so it would have been a couple of years. I might have been about 18 or something like that when Mars Volta.
Aye.
They played Tea in the Park.
Damn.
Innit? It's weird.
There's always these weird bands. No, it's not they're weird, but it's like
Out of
they don't really
place.
fit on the lineup. But also, I always think that's really good. Like people might catch something that like leads them down an interesting path, where it's even if they hate it, it's still fun to experience.
Oh,
it.
definitely. I went to see. Also saw Tricky. We into trip hop and things like
Yeah.
that. Like I was
I
ready.
wasn't when I was young. I didn't really discover it till like mid-20s. But all that sort
As
of
long as you
Bristol,
found it, aye.
Portishead, and
Aye.
Tricky, that sort of stuff. Aye.
So we went to see Tricky, and there was a mix-up on the lineup thing on the lanyard. It was meant to be like, there's too many DJs. Is that a thing? It might
Aye,
have been.
that's-
I think I might have just made that up because I've saw. But it was meant to be a DJ guy anyway in the slam tent, and it was Tricky. And if you go into, like, you're looking about and it's hundreds of young guys with like vests on at most, you know, topless and like they're just out their nut and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're wanting to dance about and Tricky comes out. You think, and he get booed off the stage as well.
Fucking hell.
But I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
But it's just like you see things like Transmit is meant to be like the new Tea in the Park, and I don't think you'd ever see like Mars Volta or Tricky or anything
No.
like that on them. I know Jimmy Eat World were there one year.
Aye.
They're also in the book Sellout.
Yeah.
Um,
I had no idea that like Bleed American, so they'd put out some albums on a major that had achieved nothing.
I know.
And then they put out Bleed American and the other one, The Middle,
Aye,
and like just like went huge.
aye.
Good for them.
I know. There was a Blink-182. That's what they were saying. Like that it was at the Static something. Anyway, Jimmy Eat World's first album,
Aye.
and they said that was one of their favourite albums that they would play on their tour bus and stuff like that. But the lead singer of Jimmy Eat World, I think it was on Twitter or another kind of non-racist social network, had put up saying always think of the first initials of your band before you settle on that name. And he put the big Jew thing, which
That's
was quite
great.
good. But I will keep going back to Sellout and stuff because I just finished the chapter on the Donnas as well.
Oh, aye.
Like
They're a band who I loved, and at some point when I was young, I sold my CD. So I had Get Skin Tight, but it was just like bright pink. And some pals were over and were making fun of me.
yeah.
And I sold it. And now I'm like, fuck them. I love that album.
Aye.
It is like, it's just good old fashioned rock and roll
Yeah.
made by some real cool women.
Aye.
And aye.
I mean that's it as well. Like, I was going to say they're more accepting of women in the alternative scene, but they weren't really. You know what I mean?
No.
It was they had to fight twice as hard as the comedy as well. You could say that it's
Aye.
just that it's quite similar. It was just no matter how good you are, you need to be twice as good as a man to get any sort of respect for anywhere, which is pure shit.
Aye. I just finished a book, Girl on Girl, How Pop Culture Turned a Generation of Women Against Themselves. I love a book with a ridiculously long title.
That's like a Fall Out Boy song, really.
Yeah.
So long.
But that right at the start, it talks about girl power being part of the grunge movement, and it was about women being safe at concerts and having safe spaces to party without harassment. And then the Spice Girls take that phrase, and girl power becomes if someone catcalls you, you catcall them back. And it's like, it's sort of, they took it and like embraced the misogyny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a woman. It's not my place to say what if that's wrong, but it feels kind of wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think when girl power did come about, it was more like, even though it was Spice Girls, there was some kind of anger and some kind of force behind it as well. So I love the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Like, I had a Spice Girls clock on my wall for years, and I wanted the Spice Girls PS1 game, and I cried when my dad said I couldn't get it. So like I was. And my daughter was actually listening to Spice Girls the other day. And my first date with my now wife, I played too much on the guitar for her. So I'll not hear a bad word said about the Spice Girls.
Okay.
But aye, they were total.
I'll maybe stop talking now. But
No,
I
they're just manufactured, put together, and kept in a cage by.
aye. It's kind of I do remember seeing in when I was like, I don't know, like 15, 20. Do you remember like all TV in like the 2000s was just lists? And there was one that was just like music's most shocking moments.
Oh, right, yeah.
And one of them was L7 at Reading.
Oh, yeah.
When they were having loads of tech issues and the audience started shouting at them, and Donita Sparks pulled out her tampon and threw it into the crowd shouting, "Eat my used tampon, fuckers." And someone tells this story to Emma Bunton and she looked so fucking appalled and I was crying laughing.
I mean, that's girl power in a way, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Just, but there was so much for them to, like, as I say, like Kim Deal. Is that her name? Am I saying that right? I keep getting her mixed up with
Kim Gordon
and the other one that sung "Kids in America."
I don't know.
Paul? I'll fun it. Leave a comment.
Who's what does Cyndi Lauper sing? It's not her.
Fun.
Yeah.
That's that. With the kids in America. I was
Whoa.
at a download, and whoever it was that sung that song come out with Lawnmower Death and sang that. Like we were in our tent, and we could hear it. I'm like, that sounds like a fantastic cover. Who is it they've got singing that? And it was
That's cool.
Kim
I like an odd collaboration.
yeah.
Like I've got really into this grindcore band called the Hers Collective, who are like this queer grindcore collective from Philadelphia. So each album is just, every song has loads of guests on it. And their album We're Not Here, the opening track has Shirley Manson from Garbage on
nice.
it. So it's insane grindcore. And then it stays really heavy, but she does like some singing over it. And it's really cool.
Grindcore with Shirley, that's pretty.
Fits really well.
Aye, you'd be. I've been listening to Black. Is it Black Gaze? It's called like Deaf Heaven
Oh, aye.
and stuff like that. Like, I've got right into them recently.
So I know, back to like gatekeeping and stuff.
Yeah.
I know loads of like people hate Deaf Heaven because they're not black metal. I think of them as a shoegaze band.
Yeah,
I really
that's what
enjoy
they
it.
are.
Like black metal's one, like there's so many rules and so many of the people making the rules are cunts. Like, so I'm not gonna follow them.
No, I know they want to burn down churches and stuff like that. I mean, I don't agree with churches on the whole, but I don't agree with vandalism. You know?
I agree with vandalism. Well, if you want to drive a van into the outside of a weapons manufacturer, the outside gate with a Palestine flag, then you are a fucking legend.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think all right enough, but
That might not be topical when this comes out.
aye, we're all over it by now. But no, aye, that was about as fucking metal as you can get.
Aye.
That is, aye.
I remember Roscoe McClelland was just like, Susan Riddle is the most punk person I know, and I know punks.
Aye, that is so punk. Aye, right. Try not to get this cancelled in the first episode. But then again, if you're getting offended by that, then that's your problem. But
I never checked if we can swear. I assume it's fine.
I'm assuming so. Aye, Paul. Aye.
Yeah.
Paul just screwed his face up at us, so I'm assuming
Cool.
that's fine. But aye, punk. Speaking of punk, it is like, it's not. I wouldn't say it's a music genre. It is kind of who you are as a person. And I think like Bjork is. I love Bjork so much. She just does what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bjork stalker has to be. I just want to talk about it. I love kind of fucked up things, like fucked up films and stories and stuff like that. I'm not really into like people like serial killers and like podcasts and stuff like that, where people are right into. I find that really weird. How there's like two women basically saying, "Oh, or two men, whatever."
I don't get it, but it's
massive.
there's a lot of stuff I don't get,
Aye.
so it's all right. It's not for me. I don't know. I know I did a show in 2022 called Horror Show, and I remember speaking, and I was like, the sort of underlying theme was like horror and comedy are kind of the same.
Yeah.
And I was talking at work to some people about it and discovered loads of women there loved horror movies. Like, it's not their identity. They just fucking love horror films. And I don't know if it's just that idea with art is you can like experience something safely. So it's like you're
true.
something you're scared of. So, you know, women can't wear headphones at night, which is fucked up. But it means you can listen to a serial killer podcast. So you're like preparation. I don't know. This is something you should talk to a woman about.
Yeah, no, but like, saying that wearing headphones at night, I would never ever have thought about that. Like,
Yeah.
how can you know just? I think CMB's got one in his last special where he was talking about. It's like, if you can't sleep, just go out for a walk. And like,
Yes, yeah.
She laughs at him. She's like, what are you talking about?
With the running thing, loads of my pals who run, they don't wear headphones because like they're worried about something happening, which is like, so when they sign up to a half marathon or something, they're excited because they can wear headphones and they can listen to music for the whole run.
Because there's going to be enough people there.
Aye, there's stewards, they're safe. Depressing as fuck.
That is fucked, man.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah. Speaking of women being the reason women are scared, what happened with Bjork?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know about this. I got my mate a book about Bjork for his birthday years ago, and he read it and then told me this story. I'd like completely missed it.
I don't know the guy's name, but he, which is probably good. But he done like a vlog, basically of him talking about how much he loved Bjork.
Which is what you've just been doing.
Yeah, pretty much. Aye. Oh no.
Yeah.
It was, and then he shaved his head at the end of it. Oh no.
Fuck.
And my head is a bit red at the minute, right enough.
Do you have access to acid? Because if so, we should be worried.
If any of us are going to have access to acid, it's going to be you. But but aye, so he done like a vlog. Basically, it just got weirder and weirder as it went on. And then the only one that I've watched the full way through, because I was on Rotten, that kind of stuff, was his last vlog where he had painted his face red, and he had a big piece of kind of tarpaulin behind him saying, "Is it the best of me?" or something, as he wrote on it.
So I don't know any of this. I know about the package, what it was, and what that it got intercepted.
Because they found this video, basically saying,
Wow.
"I've sent this package to Bjork with this in it. It's when she opens it, she's going to die, and we're going to finally be together." And he had a big tarpaulin saying like "the best of me," and he just breathes twice and puts a gun in his mouth, and his brains are over the tarpaulin and that.
Jesus Christ.
Aye. And then the police went in because they heard the bang, obviously. And I found them and then watched the tape back and managed to intercept it before it got to Bjork.
That's terrifying. Also, just, you can just, talk to women. Like it's hard and it's scary. But if you're attracted to someone, rejection, we all go through it all the time, come to terms with it.
Yeah. Aye. But that's just how terrifying it is for women in general. But a famous woman, that's your... And then it was a bit...
Didn't that guy that shot Ronald Reagan do it to impress...
Jodie Foster?
Yeah.
Aye. I thought he shoot John Lennon?
No, a different guy.
Did they?
Mark Chapman shot John Lennon.
Who was he trying to impress?
Me? Not a Beatles fan.
Aye, exactly.
No, I don't hate them that much.
You could impress a lot of women by shooting John Lennon, I suppose.
When you were talking about messed up things, so we run this night chunks where you can do anything to make the audience laugh, but you can't do stand-up. And I tried a bit, it didn't work, but I tried a bit that was just reading reviews from where John Lennon got shot. The TripAdvisor reviews are really funny. I think they're really funny. No one else did.
There are mental. I mean, they're the only kind of two ones that I can think of that absolute crazy fans and stuff like that. But it must be terrifying to be famous in general, like for people like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I imagine so that book Sellout, it's all about bands' major label debuts. So they blow up, but for a while at the start of it, they don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's everyone knows them and they have no protection.
Yeah.
That must be terrifying.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure once you live in a different world once you're like Coldplay famous, you're just like, it's not an issue. It's that thing John Mulaney talks about Mick Jagger. Like, of course he's not nice. He lives in a different world. He would stand there and just go, Diet Coke, and one appears. Like,
speaking of Mick Jagger, my wife, this is a really, I'll probably tell this in every one of these podcasts.
okay.
She worked she lived in America for a couple of months because she'd done like travel and tourism as part of her, she had travel and tourism degree. She lived in America and she worked in an office during the day, and then all her pals worked as like waitresses and stuff like that, so she couldn't really hang about with MD. So she found another job where she was replying to fan mail for Patricia Neal.
Oh, yeah.
So she's been in the same house as Mick Jagger and Sophie Dahl, and she just hung about with Patricia Neal and told her all about her affair with Gary Cooper and everything like that.
Damn.
So she was just replying to fan mail for Patricia Neal. Spoke to Roald Dahl and all that.
That's pretty mad.
And I've never moved out in your Hill, and I'm happy with it. But it's really cool, man. When she talks about, like, she's got like her autobiography and that, and the house and stuff, and she used to walk by her Oscar all the time that was sitting in her fireplace and stuff, and she had a wee mini Oscar pendant that she always wore and stuff like that. So
that's bragging a bit.
And
Yes, I've got one.
Listen, if you won an Oscar, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably. Although, I've always said this about Leonardo DiCaprio, right? He got that Oscar for The Revenant. Before that, he was always, if you talk about like who's the best actor who's never won an Oscar, his name's always in it.
Yeah.
And now he's just some cunt with an Oscar.
Yeah,
there's loads of them. Some people have them for like lighting. Chill out.
But my wife is also pals with a guy that's got an Oscar as well. He won it for like a short film as well. But I can't remember what I was going to say there. But it's just kind of like getting awards in comedy and stuff like that. Like I've just recently, I don't mean to brag, I should have worn my Beat the Frog pendant, but I beat the Frog in Manchester recently. What do you think of like comedy competitions and stuff like that? Like, what's your thoughts on them?
Right.
Aye.
I don't necessarily like them. However, people need a leg up.
Yeah.
There's so many people doing comedy. And like, there's that thing, Dave Gorman once told a story about like his a TV show, the second series of a TV show going totally wrong because of the judgments like producers had made. And within this story, he mentioned that if you win Best Show in Edinburgh, a producer can then put you on something, and if it doesn't work out, the producer's like, it wasn't my fault. They were apparently the best show in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
So awards give the people who give you jobs a bit of distance and a bit of room to fail.
Right, yeah.
I would prefer a world where producers saw something that was really interesting and went, there's nothing like that, I'm going to take a chance on it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not
how it works.
That's not how it works.
It's just something you can put in a CV, but it's something I can put in a poster. But I don't know if I could. Have you ever done like the full run in Edinburgh?
Yeah.
Have you? How was that mentally?
Not great.
No.
Depends how it goes. Like my first one was 2014, and it was rough. But on the last week, I got a 4-star review from the Scotsman.
Oh, nice.
That came out on the Wednesday. Then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the show was full and not fun.
Right.
Because it was people who'd seen the stars and maybe read the review, but they hadn't actually looked at what the show was, who I was, what. They'd just gone like, oh, this is apparently good, I'll go see it. And it's always, I think comedy is like music, it should be genred. Like if you're into punk, you don't go see an ABBA tribute band.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Or maybe you do. I'd probably go see both.
Yeah.
But I
get what you mean. How would you, no, I'm not going to ask that. How would you describe your comedy? Don't even bother. That's fucking, that's pure
I've got a line.
Pure hack shit.
Because it comes up a lot, which is comedy for people who have a kind heart but a fucked up sense of humor. It's never punching down. It's difficult subjects, but it's always punching up.
Yeah. And you'd put up a clip recently with the thing that you said that Mark Maron, was it Mark Maron that had done it?
Yeah,
Aye.
it's sort of the same. The words are completely different, but at its core, the joke is the same.
How annoying is that when that happens?
Fucking furious, man. Like, it's happened before with Frankie Boyle, but it was like he did it. The words were different. The idea was the same. He did it better.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm not going to fight him on this.
No. There's only going to be one winner.
Yeah.
But he's got his podcast with Susie and CMB as well.
Aye.
Bring the Here Comes
the Guillotine.
I don't listen to podcasts. I don't really like them.
I'm-
Sorry, Paul, but I get where like the interest comes from and stuff like that. But I probably the last thing I would put on would be a podcast. Like I'd prefer listening to music 100 times out of 100.
Yeah.
But
I'm
this
an
one's
old
great.
man. I consume podcasts the same way I consume TikTok clips, which is way after they're relevant via reels on Instagram. So, but I enjoy them. Like,
Yeah.
they're really good for travel.
Oh, aye.
Like,
aye.
if you're gonna have like a shitty bus journey, just throw on podcast.
And I was speaking of Mark, have you seen him talking about like Theo Von and stuff
Yes.
like that? And it's spot on.
Aye.
I think Theo Von is really funny. But what you doing?
Yeah.
Really, at the end
I
of it.
don't know his stuff, to be honest.
No,
but
I'll know his stuff with podcasts. I don't really, I'm not really kind of watch these many shows, but
I'm a big fan of anyone that can make me laugh with views I disagree with. Like, that's great. So, like,
Yeah.
Doug Stanhope is one of my favorites, and a lot of the time I'll watch something and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this, but I am laughing. So that's fucking great joke, right? And I can go out and go like, fuck the Tories, and everyone claps.
yeah,
But
that's a Mick Foley cheap pop.
Yeah,
if you follow wrestling, that's just I think that's just a way. It gets people on your side straight away. Right
Yeah.
enough, but
but I've started to, I have bits now where if people start clapping, I do tell them to stop.
yeah,
Because it's not a rally.
Yeah.
And also, most of the time when people start clapping, they fuck up the momentum to the joke I'm trying to get to.
I've always kind of like my style of comedy is just kind of like one-liner type stuff, like just stupid shit, and I've always tried to kind of avoid like political stuff and that, because to be honest with you, I don't know enough, and I know enough about who the bad guys are, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I know like that's pretty easy to figure out, but I've always kind of thought I don't want to like bring politics into it, because I think it kind of, for me myself, it would just kind of get me angry more than anything.
Yeah.
How do you like kind of bridge that? How do you? You're obviously passionate about a lot of things. How do you make it funny?
Oh, fuck knows. I write jokes about things that make me uncomfortable, or things that upset me, or things that bother me.
Yeah.
It's like, I have a joke in the show I just did, which was about the abortion laws in England, because there was like I heard the story on the radio that was that the governing body had to tell medical professionals not to report women to the police that they suspected of having illegal abortions, and it just like it really bothered me that was happening, because I think those women are the victims. I think doctors have a duty of care. They shouldn't be reporting people to the police.
Yeah.
So I wrote a bit about it. I was meeting some other comics. I was meeting Amanda Dwyer, Daniel Petrie, and Craig Wilson just to do a bit of writing like the same day. And I was like, I heard this thing and I've got an idea for a joke because I want to talk about it. And at the moment, the joke is just in England, you need the permission. You need to be referred by at least 2 GPs within a certain time frame to get an abortion. In Scotland, you just need a set of stairs and a good push. And all of them just went. And then Craig just went. So none of them laughed. And then Craig just went, could you make it wacky? But and that topic is still in the show That joke is not.
Yeah,
that joke
yeah.
never worked.
I don't even think it's going to be in this.
No, that's fine. I could do with a cancellation, right? The column inches that you get would really help me out.
Yeah, that's true, actually, aye. Because nobody's ever been cancelled.
Nah.
That's just, I mean, you can even say Kevin Spacey's still gone about. Kevin Spacey get invited to an island of some sort, but no that one. But like it was part of like some kind of tourism thing.
See.
Aye, so it's very recently. He's so I nobody ever gets cancelled, so it's only, it can only be good for your career.
Yeah.
So this is a question I've missed out. Have you ever been in a band?
Oh, so many.
Aye.
So many. I'm going to take some water before I tell you some dumbass stories.
So I have also been in a band. I was a guitarist and a lead singer for basically just one band with a few different names.
Right? What were the names? That's the best part.
Aye, that's the reason I brought this up. Your Moz, Your Da was the first one. And then the other one, I mean, the other two was pretty cool.
I'm trying to figure out if that's transphobic or just fun biology.
Aye, it's just, aye.
Like,
I don't even know what, I think it was just some, did you never used to say that to slag people?
no, but I can see
Right,
it being
okay,
said.
aye,
It's something kids would say.
Yeah, aye. So I were young, stupid. And then the second one, this was pretty good. My brother came up with, was the Bonnie situation, which was the chapter in Pulp Fiction where they take,
Ah, right.
which is pretty cool.
That is quite good.
And then the one we settled on was Schizo Tuesdays,
I like that.
which is my dad used to always go mental at us on a Tuesday for some reason. My mum says it's like schizo. I don't know, it was weird. Just every Tuesday, we would just come home in a bad mood, and then we'd go mental.
Wow.
So we're called Schizo Tuesdays. But I'd probably say it was kind of like indie-ish music.
Aye.
Trying to be alternative. We said we were grunge, but nothing about us was grunge.
Yeah.
Like it was just fucking Top Man t-shirts and that kind of stuff. So, what did you do in a band?
Play guitar. And I can play bass as well, so I would occasionally like help out in other bands. But I was in a band. We were called Joyless Kill. It was good. We played for got a tattoo. I don't think I can show it. It's on my leg, but I'd have to bend weird to get it on the camera. But me and the drummer and the singer all have the same tattoo. It was great. We did it probably 16 to 21, and then being from the country, we all started moving off to cities and stuff, and it just sort of stopped.
What kind of music was it?
It was metal, but it was kind of like a grunge band playing metal because none of us were wealthy.
Yeah.
So there is a thing with metal. It's like you see these guys with all these pedals, and it's like either you're rich or this is your life.
Yeah.
This is the only thing you spend money on. So we just had battered up guitars and fuzz pedals,
Aye.
trying to play metal. But
So yeah, the only pedals I had was a distortion pedal and a tuning pedal.
that's all you need.
That was it.
Aye.
That is pretty. But I wasn't good enough to be in a metal band. That's the only reason that I wasn't in one. I mean, when I first picked up a guitar and played, I was in a kind of sort of semi-metal band where we just played Metallica.
Yeah.
As long as you're playing For Whom the Bell Tolls, you just need to let the bassist and the lead guitarist do it, and then you just do
Aye.
it. It was fine. But
That's why punk and grunge are cool. I think grunge is a bit more technical, but it does sound like someone is just letting their feelings out through it,
aye.
which is really cool. I would much rather hear something bad with a lot of emotion than something that is technically proficient, but is just
Totally.
soulless.
Totally. I mean, growing up, my dad would listen to Joe Satriani, closing my dad, and he was phenomenal at the guitar. But as you said, it's just I'd rather have a power chord
Aye.
and a man screaming all the time. Which is why Nirvana were so kind of easily accessible, because as you say, it was easy to play Come As You Are. That was a riff, and it's I can play Come As You Are. And
Yeah.
It's like do 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 do. That was it.
Yeah, and grunge is great because even if you can't quite tune your guitar,
Yeah.
that almost makes it better.
Aye. but I mean, we're doing them a bit of a disservice because they were phenomenal. The Soundgarden lead guitarist and stuff. He was utterly phenomenal.
Aye.
And even Pearl Jam, even all they kind of bands. But it was, it did kind of feel like easily accessible to be able to kind of play.
Yeah, I think it definitely sounds easier than it is.
Yeah.
Like, these were talented guys, but I fucking love L7, and I think they're technically a grunge band, but I saw there was like some wee documentary about them on YouTube, and they were saying like they wanted to be a metal band, like they wanted to like rock hard, and they just sort of became a grunge band because that's what their equipment allowed. But it means you have the front woman with like a big flying V, because she wants to fucking shred, which is very cool.
No, I mean, was your dream originally to become a rock star?
Oh yeah.
Aye.
Which now I would hate.
Aye.
Like, same with comedy. I would hate to. I don't want to be a famous comedian. I would like it to be my living. I would love to just write for someone else and never be seen. Fucking hate performing so much.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I once I used to do Breaking the News. It's like a writer's pool.
Aye.
So they just send it out to loads of people.
I've had a joke on there once.
Yeah. It's always fun.
The first ever joke I submitted, and I go in and I've just assumed, right, I'll just do this for a living now. I'll just get 10 jokes a week on Breaking the News, and I've not even picked again. But I keep submitting.
I think it's great if you've got the time to do it. I always think you should. But I got the first time I ever submitted stuff, I got a really nice email that was like, obviously none of this is going to make it to broadcast, but you made the writer's room laugh, so please keep submitting stuff. Nice. So that was really nice. But I remember I went to a taping and Des Clark read out a joke that I'd written and got booed. I felt so good. It was something about how like the Harry and Meghan wedding, something to do with the bride's family paying, which is good because none of the groom's family actually works. Like that was the gist of the joke.
Right, good though.
And like he read it, and it wasn't booze. It was like, ooh, and I'm sat at the back just going, haha. It was so nice. I didn't have to go up and take that hit.
Yeah, true.
I wrote the joke for someone else, and they took the hit. I won't repeat it.
The joke that I done was at the very end. It was the last joke of the show, which was good. It was just just stupid ones where somebody in a Dutch art gallery had put down a can of beer, just left it sitting, and everybody went up and took photos of it and stuff, and it basically says like a can of beer, an empty can of beer in Holland or in the Netherlands is a work of art, but in Dundee it's a sign of a healthy breakfast. It's just stuff that gets you on the telly.
Yeah,
really, and it's just I would never ever do that on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
there's gigs where you need to. Sometimes you go up on stage, and at some point you go, I'm gonna need to spoon feed these fucking idiots.
I done one at a caravan park recently, and it was kind of like they're not going to be like my jokes about masturbation and stuff like that. So I just need to dumb it down even further than that. But not dumb it down, but you play to the crowd.
I'll be honest, I don't. That's probably why I don't get booked a lot. But it's like what we were saying before about having like an odd sort of punk or metal band out of place at Tea in the Park, but maybe someone discovers their new thing. And I would rather go up and bomb, but doing that's not necessarily true. I do feel like if you're being paid to do a gig,
you always want to be good, but I know what you mean.
Aye. But you sort of, if you try to please them and die, that's so much worse than doing something you're proud of, and you can go like, this works quite consistently. Yeah, like it's you guys that are weird.
I've always feel like my kind of stuff can work anywhere, but there are some places you need to work harder, which is good in a way. I mean, you don't want to be comfortable all the time as much as you'd like it. Like I done the Spirit of Comedy. I got through the first heat, and then I went up, and it was just like Tanya Moore was hosting it. She's been on. I watched an episode of 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown the other day, and she was on it. I'm like, what? I didn't even know who she was. But anyway, she was on, and she was like trying to get the audience up for it, and it just wasn't happening. And then I was first on. I'm like, oh god. Yeah. Went up and just forgot what it was I was going to say, which is just horrific. Just get off stage, went home.
Yeah,
it was just.
It happens.
I know.
Remember when I started, there's a guy, Kieran Nicholson, who's like he was a brilliant comic, but he also just wanted to be a writer, I think. And now he does. I think he's done like Have I Got News for You and stuff. But there was this Julia Sutherland ran a new material night in Yes Bar, and one week she couldn't do it, so Kieran filled in as host. Hadn't hosted before, but so this is going to be like his first time hosting. But we're all like, "You've got the jokes, you've got the talent. It's going to be fine." And he walks on stage. So introduces from the back of the room and then comes on stage like, "Hello, Yes Bar, how are we doing? Are we well?" Just silence. And I was crying laughing. I know exactly what that feels like. It's a laugh of recognition, but it's also really funny.
That's the thing is, see, I don't know if this is the same with you, but anytime I say to folk I do comedy, somebody else tells them on behalf because I never like to say that. But the first thing they always ask you is, "What's your worst ever gig?"
Aye, people love. If I go into work, and so I've got a podcast with Kathleen Hughes called The Day I Died, where we talk to comics about bad gigs, and like it's kind of hack within comedy, but for people outside of comedy, they fucking love it. Like if I go into work the day after a gig and went, "Oh yeah, smashed a gig last night," nobody one cares. If I go in and went, "I died so fucking hard, I'm going to tell a therapist about it," they're like, "Oh, what happened?" They love that shit.
But it is true. I mean, I need to care. Like, imagine getting in and saying, like, "Oh, do I hear the story about how good I was?" I need to polish.
My favourite good gig story is just because Joe Heenan kept me in my place. I was doing The Stand on a Saturday night in Edinburgh, but like the biggest group was 4. So it was Saturday night energy, but no rowdy cunts, just a really fun gig. And it went amazing, like gig of my life. And so I come off stage, Joe goes out, brings on main support, then comes back off stage and goes, "Wow, it's going to be a long time before you have another one like that." Which, it was exactly what I needed to hear. Yeah. Just like keep that ego in check. Like enjoy it, but keep it in check.
I mean, there is a lot of like people that have been doing it for years that you do gig with, and they're brilliant. You always like I'm gigging with like my first ever gig I done with Mark Jennings, and I was just like, I don't want to look at him. Like I'm just so I wouldn't say I'm socially awkward. I mean, I think I'm all right talking to people and things like that, but it's just when it's somebody like that, and it's like I've watched you for a couple of years, and now I'm in a room with you, and it's like I've got the right to be here. Well, I always think that. I was the last time I was in the stand, I was on Red Raw, and it was in the green room was me, Billy Kirkwood, Susie McCabe. I think Mark Jennings was there as well, and it might have been Paul McDaniel. And I'm like, I'm sticking out like a sore thumb here.
Yeah,
like you just feel like a fraud, but at the same time, I'm in this room with fucking best of the best.
Yeah.
But
I mean, for me, that feeling's never gone away.
Right,
I've never felt comfortable in a green room with people I respect.
Yeah.
So, you know, those 4 people in the comedy scene. No, there's loads. But yeah, but I always also feel like you watch, you see these acts in a club and you just kind of go, "Fuck, I need to up my game."
Yeah.
And I think that's good. I think the acts that come off who are always going, "Oh, I fucking smashed that." It's like, you should at least find some flaws so you can get better. If you're not always looking to get better, don't get complacent.
I feel like I never really put up online like, "Oh, I've absolutely smashed this tonight," or anything like that. Like, I never. If I seen that, I get through the Beat the Frog. I don't know if I mentioned it, Beat the Frog, but I put that up because that's a big deal for me, kind of thing. But like, there's people like, every night. I will never go out and just say, "Oh, I had a great gig tonight." It's always like, "Here's my next one. Come and see me," kind of thing.
Yeah, but do you have any plans to do like the Fringe or to do solo shows? Like,
I had planned to do the Fringe this year, and everything was in motion, and then just went silent on the other side. So, but it was only going to be like a couple of weekends. I think doing the full Fringe, I don't think I'll ever do the full 30 days.
No,
I just don't think I've got it in me.
Right.
Mentally.
Yeah. It's a lot. But that's the worst. So I was talking to a pal about this. the stress of the Fringe isn't the gigs. If you could gig 5 times a day, it'd be fucking great.
Aye.
It's moving about constantly seeing people. So if you're socially awkward, it's very exhausting, and like trying to navigate crowds and stuff. Then the other thing is the marketing. You have to start going, I just smashed the gig, because you need people to be seeing it and think, like, if someone sees your poster, they go, oh, I've heard that's good. And even if they only heard it was good because you've been sharing it, and it feels really disingenuous.
Aye.
And you feel like, I feel boring as well, because I know it's more entertaining when a gig goes wrong. But
Yeah.
if I'm just sharing stories of me bombing, why is anyone going to come see me bomb
true.
again?
and you're up against the world.
Aye.
Like that, I honestly don't think I'll ever. If I get to the stage where everybody knows who I am, like where we all, well, not where we all want to be, but like that I know that I would sell out, I'd do it.
Oh, I'd sell out in a fucking heartbeat.
Aye, like,
I have, I do have values, but I have way less money.
Yeah.
So like,
That's what I was thinking as well. Like, I've always thought about that. I mean, I know it's the wrong person to be speaking to me about it, because you've got really good morals and stuff like that, and
they can be bought out.
aye, it's like going to Spoons. I know I shouldn't be in Spoons, but it's £1.80 a pint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not rich enough to have that kind of like.
So I don't go to Spoons, but I just get a carry out instead.
Right.
It's not like I go to a more expensive option. It's like, I can't.
Aye.
I'm not going to fund Brexit.
Aye.
So I'll sit in the park with a bag of cans.
See that, and aye, it's that's about what the kind of perception you get off of yourself, though, isn't it? It's like you would rather look like a homeless person in a park than be in
I don't
Spoons.
mind looking like I fell out a tree. But although I was reading a book about suffragettes and how they all dressed like real fancy, so they could like infiltrate
Oh, right,
stuff,
aye.
and I was like, oh, that's way better
Ah.
than all the fucking punks I hang out with, who you walk into a situation and everyone goes, they're probably going to be trouble. They have no place at this weapons convention. I imagine they're planning something. Whereas if I got a nice haircut, cleaned my nails up, wore a suit, maybe I could start like causing trouble.
Aye.
That'd be fun.
Aye, no, it wouldn't suit you though.
Nah.
You'd know.
Yeah.
No. But that was is it Emily Pankhurst that went under the horse?
Aye.
I saw like images of that, and she looked as if she was all done up, and she had the big hat and the
Yes, it was to get through all
Ah.
the fancy folk at the horse racing.
that makes a lot more sense.
Aye.
I mean, she wouldn't get in if she was in Kappa button-ups and
Yeah.
Air Max and stuff. Aye, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, it was like the early 1900s.
Aye.
She'd look like a fucking spaceman if she turned up like that. Blow their
Have you seen
minds.
that guy when JFK gets assassinated, and there's a guy with like headphones in and stuff like that, and sunglasses?
I think I have.
Aye.
I don't know.
Aye.
I see mad conspiracy shit and I just kind of go, that's a laugh. But I don't really buy into it.
Aye. I'm right. Right. This is something I said I wasn't going to do, because I've done it every question. Well, I had a question every time in my other one that I done. But what do you remember about 9/11? Where were you when it happened? What?
I was in school. I was in a music class. Someone was on the computer and was like sort of giving us updates. And then
really?
I walked home and saw it on the news.
See that I went into my grand's just as it wasn't just as the second plane hit. I think it just hit, and the two towers were aflame. I'm quite obsessed with 9/11, not in the conspiracy theory way, but just I never know how to put this without sounding like an insane person. I like how it brought everybody together for a day. You know what I mean? They were all helping each other, and they were all dead nice. And then, obviously, September the 12th was who we're going to blame and who were.
So you're saying if we could just keep that feeling all year,
I wish
it would be worth
I
it.
wish it could be 9/11 every day.
This is like, yeah, I can see the Muppets doing a
Aye.
song about it and
Aye.
how wholesome it would be.
So, aye, but have I put myself across well? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? No, not really.
I get what you mean,
Aye.
It's nice when people are nice.
Yeah.
It'd be good if they did it without,
Aye.
you know.
The biggest atrocity in American history.
Aye.
Do you know what it was before that? The most amount of American deaths.
I'm gonna guess a school shooting.
No.
No.
Do you know about Jim Jones?
Oh, aye.
That was the
Fuck.
that was number 2. That was number 1 for ages, and they get knocked off the top.
Right.
September 11th.
Damn. I've watched a bunch of docs.
I love Jim Jones, man.
By that you mean you're fascinated by him?
Aye. I listened to the. I'm probably going to do one on Jim Jones if anyone is interested. I think it was on E-Bombs World. Remember E-Bombs World?
Kind of.
Aye.
Sort of before my time.
No, wasn't he?
I don't know. Well, I didn't really have the internet.
Oh, true.
Middle of nowhere.
You were still making tapes in 2003.
Aye, when I moved to the city, I got a library card and I would go to the library to look at stuff on the internet. I'm fucking old.
There was how they obviously done the Kool-Aid thing, and there was a recording of like the last hour, and you just hear like kids crying and stuff, and then like he was up saying, "We're doing this for the good."
I watched
of
a
the
documentary
community."
quite recently about how so much of it's inaudible.
Yeah.
So they're still trying to like figure out what is said in bits of it.
And then it just gets quieter and quieter.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
it's-
Jesus
aye.
Christ. It's a horrible story.
Good way to end it, I think.
Yeah.
But,
We never even got into Kurt and Courtney and
yeah.
those conspiracy theories.
I mean,
We went way off track.
no, I know. That was good though. I mean, we didn't really need, but she done it, eh? Courtney.
No.
Right, how no?
Because
Is it not that there was so much stuff in his system that he wasn't able to date? Was that not a
no, I saw a thing that disproved that
All right, okay.
someone took a load of heroin
Aye,
and
and then
like
so-
stood on one leg. Like, and I was like, fuck, there's another person more famous than me stealing my jokes. Coming up with the same jokes, I should say.
All right, so right, okay. I'll need to look into more of that. I mean, that didn't really interest me.
No.
Like,
There was that Kurt and Courtney DVD, the Nick Brimfield doc. So like it was one of the few things I could get. You could get it for like £3 in Virgin. So I bought that. Didn't have any of Nirvana's music in it. But it did make you come away going like, nah, this isn't real.
I've got Last Days. Is it Gus Van Sant film?
Yeah, I've not seen that.
No, neither have I. And I've got it in the house still in itself. I've got so many films like that in the house, but I should really have watched that before this. But there you go. I forgot I had it. But I think she's done it. So now we're at the end. Are we, Paul? Oh, very good. Do you have anything to plug? Anything you want to?
No, I probably do actually. I do a podcast with Kathleen Hughes called The Day I Died. I've got Instagram, TikTok. I hate my job, so find me on socials and follow me. So then when I do something, it'll be good, and then I can quit my job.
Sounds very good. Well,
Yeah.
that's the first one back, and thank you very much for doing it.
Thanks for having me. It was
Thank
loads
you.
of fun. A lot
All
to
the
think
best.
about.
See you later on. Bye bye.